Hello and welcome to Dad Got This, where we answer the tough questions like, how would Superman cook a steak? And, speaking of Superman, what do you get when you cross Superman and a pig? That one's easy. The Man of Squeal. Recently, the Man of Steel himself not only proved that he can be multi-dimensional and played the Cavalrine in Deadpool 3, but he set the barbecue world on fire with a simple Instagram post showing how he cooked a steak. And I gotta say, it was a great looking steak. So we're gonna follow Henry Cavill's method for cooking a steak. And to do it, we're gonna use the new Rontronic Wireless Thermometer. Let's go ahead and open this up.
Inside the package, the first thing you're gonna see is the user manual. Then we've got a USB-C cord and the main unit. The main unit consists of a base station and the probe. That little sticker on the probe just tells you how deep to insert the probe into the food. The probe is only 4.5 inches long and 3/16 of an inch thick. The base station is also nice and compact, and it recharges via the included USB-C cable. Onto the steak.
This is a 3-pound Tomahawk Steak, also known as a cowboy ribeye, bone-in ribeye, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're gonna make. Superman didn't give us a lot of information to go by on how he made his steak other than a small description and a couple of pictures. He said he smoked the steak on his Yoder grill, which looked to be a pellet grill to me, and then he seared it off on his Kamado grill. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got a Big Z Grill's pellet grill here, and I got my Kamado Joe. We should be able to pull this off. As far as seasoning, all I saw was some salt, a little bit of garlic powder, and what looked to be some sort of chili powder, a red powdery substance. So we're gonna go with salt, garlic powder. I've got a little bit of chili powder, and maybe we'll throw a little bit of black pepper on there. I just like the flavor of black pepper. Let's get this thing seasoned up. On a cut like this, we can be liberal with the salt. Pat this side in. And give it a flip. Now, we don't want to forget these sides, so we'll pick up whatever's here on the board. The process he used to cook his steak is called a reverse sear. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the temperature up really nice, low and slow, get lots of smoke in that pellet grill. Once the steak reaches 120 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch it off for a super hot sear over on the charcoal grill. That should give us a wonderful smoky flavor and some charcoal flavor. To pull off a cook like this, you need a really good thermometer. You need to know the exact temperature of this steak so that you pull it at the right time so we don't overcook. We are looking for a absolute perfect medium rare. To do that, I'm gonna use the Rontronic Wireless Thermometer. This has got some great features and benefits in it. It's super compact, nice and small. It's also magnetic, so you can stick it anywhere that's metal. The probe itself is also nice and thin and not too big. A lot of other probes are really large and bulky, so getting it into smaller cuts of meat could be an issue. Not with this one, this is a huge cut of meat. One of the other great features about this, it is a dual sensor probe. So not only will it tell you the temperature of your meat, it's gonna also tell you the temperature of your cooker. The thermometers on your cookers are wildly inaccurate. They tell you the temperature up here, over here. They're not really close. So this is going to give you a much better reading and tell you what your temperature of your cooker is so you can make any fine adjustments that you want. Another great feature is the speed that this thermometer reads at. 1 second. That is basically an instant read thermometer if you ask me. So as soon as you put it in your food, you basically know what temperature your food is. You don't need to wait around for it to come up and check the temp. It's ready to go right away. The unit itself will tell you the ambient temps, it'll read everything. You can look at the unit and know everything that's going on without having to open up your phone or fire up an app. Now this does have an app. We're gonna get into that in a second. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and set this steak aside, just let it rest out, kind of do its thing, mellow out, let all that salt penetrate. It would honestly be better if you let this rest in the fridge uncovered overnight and really let it dry brine and penetrate that big, thick cut piece of meat. Unfortunately, I don't have time for that. So we're just gonna set it aside and let it kind of chill out here at room temperature while we set up our 2 grills. Because I want as much smoke as possible on this steak, I'm gonna use this little smoker box. I'm gonna add some wood chips. We're gonna stick it in the smoker with the steak, just to give the pellet grill a little bit of extra smoky help. You just fill it up, stick it over there. At this point, it's time to set up the app. To do that, open up your app store and search for Chef BBQ. We're gonna open it up, turn on our unit, hit that button that says matching, and you're in. Now let's go to some settings, temperature unit. I use Fahrenheit. I know some of you guys use Celsius. And that should be all we need to change there. Take our probe out of the unit. We're gonna insert it into the thickest part, right over here. You wanna insert up to this line right here to avoid any issues. And that is a properly inserted probe. According to the app, our meat is at 48 degrees Fahrenheit. So we are gonna go ahead and set this to meat, beef. We want this to be 120 degrees. We don't need an early warning. That's it. Now, if you wanna record your cooks, you click on this cooking graph and hit start recording. Now it is tracking your cook. Grab your steak, stick it on the smoker. And now we just wait for that steak to come up to temp. But the nice thing is the Rontronic has advanced Bluetooth technology and it works up to 800 feet away. So I can just kind of monitor it from wherever. That steak is out there smoking on the smoker and I am in my house in my dining room, which is off my patio through closed sliding glass doors. And as you can see, I am still connected to the Rontronic. That is the first wireless thermometer that I have tested that has allowed me to do that. All of my other units shut off immediately when I walk in my house. Not bad. Now, I really want that steak to be done because I'm getting hungry. As you can see, we are smoking away. The probe is doing its job. Speaking about the probe, it's IP67 water resistant. So you can submerge it. You could cook with it in liquids. You could deep fry with it. You can use it in sous vide. No problem. You could braise with it. All good to go. The probe lasts an insanely long time on charge. 48 hours of low and slow cooking with that probe. Now, I'm going to be doing a low and slow test, so make sure you are subscribed and you check back because that is going to be my next test. We're going to do some barbecue birria beef using the Ninja Woodfire and the Rontronic Wireless Thermometer. So hit that button. We've been under that low smoke setting for about 30 minutes now. To get us to where we need to be in a reasonable amount of time, I'm gonna go ahead and kick the temperature up to about 225 Fahrenheit or Celsius, and that should get us there a little quicker. We are at about an hour and 20 minutes, and this steak is only up to 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think I'm gonna kick this up to 250 Fahrenheit or Celsius to help speed this process along a little bit. We are about an hour and 50 minutes into this cook, and our beef is reading 116 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. Just about time to take it off. Now, if you are gonna do this at home, I would suggest you wait to start your charcoal grill for at least an hour after you put your steak on, because I just wasted a bunch of fuel with the charcoal grill sitting on blazing high for no reason, because it took so long to get that big, thick 3-pound steak up to temperature. But I think we are finally there. I threw a little bit of extra charcoal on the top of the grill, just so we have some really nice, fresh charcoal to flame this guy up. And we are just about ready to pull this 4 degrees, and that's it. I'm getting a beep on the unit and notifications on my app. The food has hit 120. It is time to sear. I have to say, that's a great looking steak as it is. Lots of smoke color on there. And at this point, we can actually go ahead and pull out that probe. If you're not like me with dead hands, you might want to wait till it cools down or grab a glove that's heat resistant. We're gonna pull that out because you do not wanna sear over open flames with your probe. It is a high temp rated probe, but open flames can cause all kinds of problems for these things, so you're better not to do that. We don't really care about the next temperature because we're searing to a good crust, and when we have a good crust, we are done. Let's open this grill up and get this thing out of here. I'm so ready to eat. Our grill is kicked up to just over 800. Oh, we are flaming. I'm gonna take a little bit of avocado oil and just put it on the outside of this steak. Should help build our crust.
And now comes the hardest part. We have to wait 10 minutes for this steak to rest.
This looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait any longer. Let's go ahead and slice it off the bone first. That's a nice looking bone. Go across the grain. Let's cut it right down the middle. Oh, it cuts like butter. There you go. Superman steak. I need to try a bite of this. We'll go right out of the middle. Some of these juices to the last son of Krypton. Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Smoky, tender, perfectly cooked. That char, juicy as heck. Let's carve the rest of this guy up. In conclusion, that is a fantastic steak. No tips. Just do what I did. It'll be amazing. Or do what Superman did, because I just did what he did, and it's great. The Rontronic Wireless Thermometer was just mint. Did everything I wanted it to do. The app was easy to use. It charted my cook. I could monitor it from inside my house without having to worry about it. I can't give many more notes on that. It seemed to be great. I can't wait to use it again. I'm gonna use it for low and slow cook, even though this was pretty low and slow, but an even lower and slower cook in the future. So if you're interested in that, make sure you are subscribed so you get the notification when that video comes out. If you are interested in picking up one of these Rontronic thermometers, there's gonna be a link down in the description. It is an affiliate link. It does help me out. I would appreciate it if you use it. Guess that just leaves one question left to answer. What's the difference between Spider-Man and Superman? Spider-Man can shoot webs. Clark Kent, yeah, pretty bad. Dad may tell horrible dad jokes, cook fantastic steaks, thanks to Superman and Rontronic. But there's one thing Dad will never do, and that's an outro. So that's it. Bye.
This episode of Dad Got This was brought to you by our producers. Thank you very much.